'tis many's a gay night, from dark till daylight, I spend with people of high renown. But in all their grandeur and heaps to squander, my heart would wander for sweet Omagh town.
Hello, once again, a very good evening or morning or what time of day it may be or what day of the week it is. You're very welcome to join us here on Sweet Omagh Town Internet Radio, and by the magic of BT, we hope to talk to Declan Ford.
Hola. Here he is, in the wilds of Mountfield.
There you.
Yes, indeed, Donald.
Yeah.
Anyway, what is the agenda for today?
Well, remember we done one recently on the memories of Knockmoyle?
Yes.
Do you remember we went via Cookstown way and stopped at An Creagan Centre for a few nights and talked to the grit and the good there from Cookstown right down and up to, where was it, up the Loch Shore somewhere?
That's right, and it kind of encompassed that kind of area of the Sperrins.
Yeah.
And that's right, we had music, a wee bit of history, stories, and...
As the late Owen Smith would have called it the foot of the Sperrins, wouldn't
it? The foot of the Sperrins. We had, I tell you, a great cross-section of people.
There were.
And do you remember we went out to the centre? It was a lovely, lovely wee centre, a lovely performance space. In fact, I have seen Ronnie Drew performing there.
Yes, I know you did. Yeah.
And the great Tommy Macomb.
Artie Berlin and Nola Casey played there.
That's right. And Finbar Fury, Sean Keane. A great, great venue. And the marvellous thing about it is there's no stage.
No.
And I tell you, it fairly tests.
It tests the musician. It does. Because I tell you, you're right up again because I've been there quite often working on it. Merchant O'Connor was there. Cahill Hayden. God, to be fair to John Donaghy, John could put on shows in those days. Had no financial support, but yet managed almost monthly to put on something. So.
That's right.
Hopefully those days will return.
Tommy Sands there as well.
Yes.
And it's a lovely wee spot. Lovely walks about it around it. You can walk right into the bog. I remember, actually, this is true. I was up one Saturday afternoon, and in the bog there's a kind of a catwalk, and I could see about a dozen students. Now, they were probably in their early 20s, and they were huddled at the end of this long walk, and I thought somebody had maybe fallen into the bog or was stuck in the bog, so I went up to see if everything was okay. And they were all looking down, and I said, well, what's happening? Did somebody fall? She said, no, we have nothing like this at home. We have nothing like this in Germany. They were just agog.
Wow.
They were down staring at the bog itself and the flora and the fauna.
Yeah.
And it kind of hit me then that we take it for granted.
Acres of diamonds, isn't it, really? Sometimes we go away to look for fame and fortune, and it's on our doorstep all the time. It really is. Yeah.
And Donald, when this pestilence is over, I think we're all going to have a greater appreciation of what we have here.
Yes.
The simplicity and the beauty of the environment we live in.
Yes, I know. People have left Ireland and often said to them, that they left home and they realised, there was everything here that you could have possibly wanted anyway. So, but you're right, Declan. I think people will be a bit more careful about where they spend their leisure time and look around and appreciate and go out more.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting at home, maybe, because now when you more or less have to sit at home, it's difficult, and and it's okay not to be okay, because some of my friends are calling me in the evenings and saying, they're getting it difficult enough just to stay in the house, but this is the most precious time to do that, because this the whole pandemic is still out and about there, and people still need to be very careful, and you could let the guard down, and I was watching something on the internet the other night in America. They were talking about their right and their rights of freedom to go and mix and be with who they wish and things. Without ever realising that it's the opposite effect. If you really want freedom, you have to contain this and keep it to yourself and not spread it around to your neighbours and friends.
Oh no, that's right. That's right.
It's a bit like if you're sitting in, say, at a car in Campsie and a child, you look at a child across the road, you got to get out and lift the child and bring it to a place of safety, because that's expected of you, and you would do that. So it's the reverse this time. You got to stay in and not socialise or not be in close contact with anyone till this is sorted, and it will be sorted.
It will be. It will be down the line, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But
right.
But anyway, back to Creggan.
Right. We recorded some music and I think it was Mickey Gallagher.
Oh, the late Mickey Gallagher from Mountfield.
Yes.
Oh, originally from the Moor direction.
Yes.
Oh, the man, his speciality was the slow air.
Mm.
And he was a master man. He was brilliant.
Yes. And what do you call the man talks about the ceili-houses? I couldn't remember his name.
Sean Toner.
Wasn't he wonderful? He
painted lovely pictures with words. He was very entertaining.
He talked. His house was a ceili-house. Beg your pardon. And then where people would come on a Monday night, and then other family would come on a Tuesday night, and they would have tea and homemade scones and sit and chat about the yarns that people said the night before. And all the people came on a Wednesday night. It was just an open house.
That's right. That's right. The ceili-house. That's right. Yeah. That's right. And each house in the vicinity had its own speciality. One house might be great for music.
Yes.
Another house might be great for stories. Another house might be great for news.
Mm-hmm.
And he was able to identify the different houses. And like I remember my mother talking about my grandfather in Balleek, in Killiebig, outside Balleek, and he was a great man for the ceili.
Yeah.
For going out and just visiting neighbours. And, it's a sort of a dying art.
We've lost it a bit, and that was unique to Ireland, wasn't it?
We had Dan Neeson from...
Yes, from Cookstown. Is he Cookstown?
Kildress,
yes.
From Cookstown, Liston direction, and he sang.
Yes.
And we had the local musicians from the area who played. Peter Smith talked about the song tradition in the Sperrins.
He sang a lovely version of The Mountains of Pomeroy. Just...
And a very fine musician, great singer, great speaker, great whistle player.
Right.
And that's only as I say, that's only scratching the surface.
Right.
I remember the recordings. Now we covered a lot between stories, and Eamon McCann actually sings on it as well.
Yeah, the Creggan White Hair, was it?
A very fine country singer, but equally a very fine folk singer.
His father was a good singer as well.
Oh, Hughie, the late Hughie McCann, and Hughie's piano accordion is now on display in Creggan.
I saw it there the last day I was in there. It's on a
Which is
shelf.
Lovely. It's a lovely tribute, and I think it's in a way, this is when you go up to Creggan and you see the old fight accordion, and you automatically remember the man, and hopefully now these recordings will bring back memories of people who have sadly passed on.
Yes. And their
music lives on, their stories live on, and they live on.
These are only sort of short extracts from that. The full interviews, if you are interested, are probably in An Creagan Centre with John Donahue, or even you contact ourselves. We may have longer interviews, because this is going to be spread over 2 nights as well, Declan, I think, because it would be over 2 hours long.
That's right.
And if these go more than an hour, the internet starts to get a bit unstable, so we try to keep it down to an hour. So it'll be over 2 nights, one after the other, and we'll do it that way. And I say, if you're hearing it around the world, give us a wee thumbs up. Let us know that you are hearing it, because it's nice to know who's listening to it, and how far you are and where you're from. Even if you're just from up the road in Creggan or Carrickmore or Berra or 6 Mile Cross or whatever, just give us a wee thumbs up, because then that'll give us some idea of the numbers that we're reaching here at this stage. As I say, it's not that important, because I got a text there very early on from a lady who lives in Omagh town. She lives alone. Her only daughter lives in North London, and this lady doesn't have any access to the internet or anything. But what the daughter does at night, she puts it on the telephone for her, and they both sit down and listen to it.
My goodness.
Isn't that lovely?
That is lovely. It is sad and lovely at the same time.
Well,
and
it's, you know,
heartwarming.
yeah, it is, because she says it's just every night it's something to do rather than talk. She puts it on speakerphone and she puts it on her laptop or whatever, and they sit down and listen for an hour. God help them, Declan.
Oh dear. Well, hello out there. Anyhow, you know, that lovely lady, the two ladies in Omagh and
Yes.
London.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we appreciate it.
That's great. It is. It doesn't. You don't need the internet, really, do you? You know, if you and that, to me, it's important that people who don't have access to internet, or maybe in retirement homes and various things, that they get a chance just to listen to this, because it's for people who somehow can feel a bit trapped in this. And as I say, it's okay not to be okay. Sometimes you can just feel a bit tired of the whole thing and get war weary, but it's part of the process, you know. Anyway, Declan, on that happy note, I shall get back to work here.
So Creggan Part 1.
Creggan Part 1 and Creggan Part 2.
Creggan Part 2.
I shall do that, and then I shall get back to you in the fullness of time. While you have the most tidy garden in Mountfield, mine's...
You could eat your dinner off the lawn.
I would need a man with a scythe here to get the grass cut. You know.
Oh no. Well, on that note.
On a happy note.
Goodbye. All the best.
Resting at the foothills of the Sperrin Mountains, halfway between the towns of Omagh and Cookstown, An Creagan, the Creggan Centre, reflects and celebrates a unique way of life and culture west of the River Bann. Within its iconic whitewashed cottages, you will find the art of music, storytelling and song preserved, nourished and cherished. Here all are welcome to sit by the turf fire, to join in and to enjoy a typical Irish music session in a true ceili-house setting. The following voices and music are but a small portion of recollections recorded over long winter nights at one of these sessions. Our thanks are due to the good people of the Sperrins for allowing us to eavesdrop into their vanishing world and to preserve for posterity their voices and their music.
This is a local traditional song called The Creggan White Hare. In the lowlands of Creggan there lives a white hare. She's as swift as a swallow that flies through the air. You may search through this whole world, there's none to compare with the pride of Lower Creggan, our bonny white hare. On a fine Sunday morning, as you may suppose, as the bright autumn sun o'er the green hills arose, Barney Conway came round, boys, and this did declare, saying, today I'll put an end to your bonny white hare. He searched through the mountains and he searched through the glens, and among the green bushes where the hare had her dens, till at last coming home on a lyric quite bare, from behind a wild thistle out jumps the white hare. Bang went his gun and his dog he let to, and as swift as a swallow the white hare she flew. Well, the dog soon came back, which made poor Barney sigh, a sign the old white hare had bid him goodbye. Well, the next that came round, boys, the truth I will tell, was a man called Pat Devlin with a glue called Black Nell. He said the white hare she will surely have fun, sure as 20 to 1, Black Nell'll make a run. Now the hare she got up from behind yon brow now, and as swift as a swallow she sped through the flow. She made for yon meadows to cross o'er the burn, but as quick as the hare was Black Nell made her turn. Now on went the hunt, boy, sure is lovely to see, as the white hare and black dog moved lightly and free. 5 turns the hare got by bonny Black Nell, and the 9th turn was given round John Hahi's well. Now the hare mid her way good as only hares can, out into a lane that leads to Crockmaccan. 'Twas there we lost sight of the hare and the dog, but 5 minutes later they came through the black bog. Now on went the hunt, boys, sure it's lovely and grand. There's no doubt that the white hare's the pride of our land. She came over by Esker where she knew the lanes well, and to the black greyhound the hare bid farewell. There were some jolly sportsmen came here from Pomeroy, Call Island and Cookstown and likewise the Moy, with their pedigree greyhounds they brought from afar, and they landed in Creggan in their fine motor car. Down to the lowlands the sportsmen did go, in search of the white hare they tried high and low, till at last one brave sportsman on a turf bank quite bare cried out to his comrade, "Here lies the white hare." Now they called up the dogs, boys, from off the green lea, o'er the sportsmen and beagles they jumped high with glee. Right there on the turf bank they gathered around, 9 men and 7 dogs did the white hare surround. No wonder the white hare did tremble with fear, as she looked at the greyhound she raised her big ear. She rose on her toes and with one mighty spring jumped over the greyhound and cleared through the ring. Now on went the hunt, boys, like lightning she flew, across the green meadows through the bright morning dew. But the pedigree greyhounds they did not go far, and they came back and went home in their fine motor car. One day John McKenna was digging some ground, and was greatly surprised when the white hare came round. Said he to McKenna, "Who's your man with the dog? Don't you see him over yonder coming through the black bog?" McKenna looked up, stuck his spade in the ground. Said he, "That's a poacher called Jimmy McGowan." Said the hare to McKenna, "Sure I'll sleep snug and well. Sure I thought it was Devlin with Buddy Blacknell." And now to conclude and to finish my song, I hope you'll forgive if I said any wrong. If there's any among you has money to spare, drink a jolly good health to the Creggan white hare.
When my father wanted to express his wonder at something, he would say 3 very simple words. He would say, boys are boys. And boys are boys expressed everything. A beautiful girl, boys are boys. A wonderful landscape, boys are boys. Something that was indescribable, boys are boys said it all. So here's the Christmas story based in Tyrone. It's called The Shepherd's Christmas. Charlie O'Kane from the hills of Cookstown was a man of few words and a master of none. He lived all alone, a shepherd by trade, and carried the crook his grandfather made. While looking his flock one cold winter's night, a star in the east seemed to sparkle too bright, and he could neither explain nor comprehend why. He just had to follow that light in the sky. He climbed over ditches and plagued across fields belonging to Kellys, McCanns and O'Neills, to finally stop where the siren star led, to the back of Beyond and Joe Murphy's shed. Creaking open the door, he tiptoed on in, and there in the darkness, making no din, silhouetted against the harrow and plough, stood a piebald donkey and wee moily cow. Trembling and twisting his cap in his hand, he knew in his heart but could not understand why he'd never forget the sight that he saw, a mother and baby asleep on the straw. From that moment on, life was never the same for that poor mountain farmer, Charlie O'Kane. And when asked of the wonder of that Christmas day, boys are boys was all the old shepherd would say.
There's a hilltop in old Ireland, along the Sperrin View, a place they call Ceili-house, well known to me and you. It is highly elevated above the Irish Sea, and no matter where I wander, you're always home to me. Beautiful Ceili-house, you're all the world to me. You stand so grand above the ban, ever calling me. And no matter where I wander, no matter where I roam, oh, beautiful Ceili-house, to me you're always home. As I stood on the tarmac, 6 counties could be seen, that great display of grandeur, and the valleys oh so green. The county of Omagh soon came into view, then viewing down and Moran, and Antrim Slemmies too. Towards the county of Fermanagh, with Erin's lakes well known, and back across the valley, through the heart of sweet Tyrone. Then o'er the hills of Derry, with lovely Derry air, sure I often thought I heard them, as I'd stand there and stare. 'Twas from here I emigrated, all in the famine years. As I stepped aboard the steamer, I was wiping back the tears. Landed in a foreign land, poor and all alone, still dreaming of old Ireland, Ceili-house and my home. I have seen the sights and lights of many the city grand. I have seen the scientific inventions made by man. I have spoke with poor and princess, saw kings upon the throne, but all of these I'd gladly give for Ceili-house and my home. When my working days are over, if the Lord be good to me, one day, please God, I will return Ceili-house for to see. I will be content and pay the rent, never more to roam from beautiful Ceili-house, the place that I call home. Beautiful Ceili-house, you're all the world to me. You stand so grand above the ban, ever calling me. And no matter where I wander, no matter where I roam, oh, beautiful Ceili-house, to me you're always home.
Die doodle dum doodle dum to the day doodle dum to the day doodle dum to the day doodle dum doodle dum to the day doodle dee to the day doodle dee dum dabba dee doodle dum doodle dee to the day doodle dum to the day doodle dee to the day doodle dum to the day doodle dee to the day dum to the day doodle dum doodle dee doodle dum to the day 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 dum to day doodle dee to the day doodle dee dum to the day doodle dum to the day doodle dum dabba dee doodle dee to the day doodle dum to the day doodle dum diddly dee dum dee doodle dee to the day doodle dee dum daddle dee doodle dum doodle dee to the day doodle dum doodle dee doodle dum to the day doodle dum daddle dum to the day doodle dee to the day doodle dee dum dabba dee doodle dum doodle dee to the day doodle dum diddly dee doodle dum diddly dee doodle dum daddle dum to the day doodle dee to the day dum to the day doodle dum diddly dee doodle dum dabba dee doodle dee to the day doodle dum diddly dee doodle dum doodle dee daddle dee doodle dee to the day doodle dee dum to the day doodle dum rum dee doodle dum dabba dee doodle dee to the day doodle dee dum dee doodle dee to the day dum diddle dee to the day doodle dee do.
Last Easter Sunday, as I sat and pondered o'er days and scenes I shall see no more. Sweet youthful days when I used to wander from Carnamahdy to Carrickmore. though many a city since then I have been in. New York, Chicago, Fort Wayne and Troy. My heart still pines for your fields, Gilleanin. My bosom yearns for you, sweet Pomeroy. A village perched on an elevation, a murmuring streamlet that bathes its feet, a lordly hollow and a green plantation, and a great white fairground where farmers meet. 3 streets that branch from a large quadrangle, a kirk, church, chapel, and a school close by, a little courthouse where lawyers wrangle, and a neat post office, and that's Pomeroy. 'Twas there I got what I had of schooling. God bless the master if he's living yet. 'Twas there I first met young Kitty Doolin and fell in love with her the hour we met. Dear native hills with the skies above you, while big sleeve Gallen lifts his crest on high, while your waters flow to Lanye, I love you, my blessed, my beauteous, my own Pomeroy. How sweet it was when my work was over to take a stroll around the sandy braes, where the corn craked in the dewy clover, and the blackbird warbled his evening lay. Beside me Kitty, with her form so slender, her ripe red lips and her soft brown hair, are what cared I about foreign splendour? My Eldorado was sweet Pomeroy. Dear village blessed by the smiles of heaven, with your nice white chapel and its soft-toned bell, that used to summon to prayer the living and greet the dead with its parting knell. I would my ears could but hear it tolling, 'twould fill my bosom again with joy. But the mighty Atlantic's rolling its waves twixt me and my own Pomeroy. And yet who knows I am not despaired, if God so wills I'll retread the scene. I'll feast my eyes on the hills of Erin and see her senate in College Green. My arms will clasp, forms was death to sever, forms not beheld since I was a boy. And when life's journey is o'er forever, my place of rest may be sweet Pomeroy.
dum.